Joey D, live from some Baptist church in the middle of nowhere. How you going, brother?
Yeah, good brother. Mormon church, hopefully, but
Let's have an
it's a
act.
personal favourite. No, thanks for having me, D. How you going, bro?
I'm not bad, bro. Not bad, not bad. Fuck, I'm over this lockdown shit though, man. I'm going crazy. It's been 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks.
Yeah, like it was funny because I was handling things fairly pretty well the whole period, and then as soon as we passed that Wednesday,
Last week?
yeah,
The Wednesday just
like
gone? Yeah.
the one that we all thought was going to be the end of it, I was like,
Yeah. Because we were aiming for that, and then they took it away from us.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, and then they
Crazy.
started talking about this Monday business, and so I've kind of been a bit out of it since the Wednesday. I noticed.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it's like almost semi over, getting to start at least some sort of normalcy tomorrow.
Yeah, kind of though. I don't know. It's more like someone wrote up level 3 is level 4 with KFC, and I'm kind of like, yeah, kind of is for some of us. Like we're I don't know about you, but I haven't got a normal job. It's like we can't film anything really. Supposed to be filming something next week to do with a hair product, but we're not allowed hairdressers or makeup artists or studios or anything. So we're just shooting it in my house. They got the around with the talent and all that.
And so I mean, I do. Yeah, was supposed to be doing some filming stuff. Was supposed obviously stand up as well. But we probably won't be able to do stand up till like August, September.
Bro, if you're lucky, man, stand up.
Yeah.
Anything to do with crowds, I think, big crowds. Because what do you do, the classic mainly? You do the classic or just a little bit?
Yeah.
But you go.
Yeah, there's absolutely. We have absolutely no idea on when things are going to start back up.
No.
Which is the other hard. Like you can't plan anything. It's it's
tough,
real.
Man.
Yeah.
There must be.
How have you?
Eh?
I was going to say, how have you been putting up with like all the time and stuff?
All the time, like time just sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah,
going out of my mind, bro. It was sweet to begin with. A lot of DIY projects. We went out and we bought a whole lot of paint and we painted the house and knocking up and that sort of thing. And now we've used up all the paint and we can't do anything else. We've cleared out the deck, but we can't get rid of the old wooden stuff until level whenever.
Yeah.
One of those skip bins in and then fill it up and get rid of it and carry on with the next part. So we're still our lockdown's in lockdown. It's like we've just got to halt. There's not much else to do. So
bro.
Sitting around and bro, it's hard, man, when it's just the two of us in a relationship and you're like, mate, it brings up the best and worst though, eh?
Well, especially because you guys haven't been together for ages, eh? Like that's tough on any relationship.
Yeah.
Let alone a new one.
Imagine having kids. Imagine having kids in a small house. I got some mates who have got 2 kids or more.
Bro.
Place which is smaller than the one we're at now, which is a little 3-bedroom, but they're small rooms. You know what I mean? Mate, you'd be going out of your mind.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. Well, there's I was kind of taking the piss out of people at the start, but then I realized now why I see, because my room backs onto like a main road, and I'll see the same people walk past with their kids just all day long, morning, afternoon.
Yeah, it's a funny one when you get out of the park, bro. You get out of the park and you see like dad pushing the pram and he looks beaten, and he's like, "You're just giving the missus a minute, eh? You're giving the missus some time before things get a little out of hand. You just take it for a walk, bro. It's all good."
Yeah,
it's
that's not even for me, bro. I've been going for genuinely 3-hour walks.
Really?
Yeah, just around my block, like honestly, over and over again.
Yeah.
Just to like kill the time, man. Because it's hard when I had myself mentally set for the 4 weeks, and then it was real interesting. As soon as we passed that Wednesday, I was like, fuck, I can't do this shit anymore.
You're in Te too, eh? LTA.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So I'm pretty lucky. It's a real nice area, and it's pretty open and pretty cut off. So.
Yeah,
it's good to walk around in there, but it's I was never at home. I was always like, always working, always out and about doing things, and then to go from 100 to 0 was like a big
it's a tricky one.
Yeah, that was a big calm down sort of for me.
I was kind of looking when they put us. They said we were 2 days away from going to level 4. I was kind of looking forward to it because it's like, sweet, we're forced to have a break. you know, because you're going all the time and your mind's going 100 miles an hour, and you're doing business stuff, you're doing creative stuff, and all that sort of thing for us. And then but you just don't have any time to rest. And then this is like, oh, sweet, it's a forced holiday, kind of in the same spot. And, part of you is looking forward to it. I'll do some meditation. I'll eat healthy. Blah blah blah. None of that happened.
Yeah. I think it's funny as well because all the things that I kind of do to wind down, they're not things at home. Like my wind down activities are like going to the movies, like going to the beach and walking around and stuff.
Yeah,
You're not allowed to do any of that shit. So it's kind of just been like a. Yeah, I feel like I'm back at high school on the weekends when you like can't do shit. It's been.
Bro, you've been busy.
It's been weird.
Yeah, what have you been doing full time anyway? You've been busy, bro. You've been doing your little videos and stuff on the gram, which are fucking going off like a frog in a sock, man. What's the story?
Yeah. No, I've Oh, but I wouldn't even know where to start with those. I mean, I've kind of been making videos consistently for like the last probably year and a bit.
Yeah.
And then I think I just struck lucky. It started to sort of build up before lockdown. My big goal was to hit 10K by July, and then I hit it just before lockdown. And so I was like pretty stoked with that.
Yeah.
And then obviously the whole thing with everyone being at home and having nothing to do.
Yeah.
They got no other choice but to be on social media, and
true.
Just kind of worked out well,
taking it all in. But no, your videos, like, they're fucking funny, man. But yours are very, very you though, eh? Just low budge, just chuck it all out. It's all about the comedy, eh?
Yeah. I think like for me, I'm not the best. I'm not the best editor. Like I mean, fuck, you've been around me, bro. Like I'm never pay attention to details. I'm very just like, oh, let's just do it. So I just took that kind of attitude, and I think as well because if I focus too much on the quality, it would also be kind of too hard for me to keep up with. For me to like pump out consistently, because I'm very much like I don't really plan things. So I think just keeping it simple has been what's allowed me to like do it consistently. I definitely like high quality, like well put together stuff. Like I would much rather be able to do it, but I just suck at organizing myself. So
it's pretty hard. Like my ones, I've been putting stuff up every other day, but I haven't had the consistency because I put a lot of production value into it because I enjoy it.
Yeah, bro.
It's fun for me to do that. So it's interesting, eh? Like it takes ages to plan, and then you realize that doing the stuff by yourself sucks.
Oh yeah,
but the final product, it comes out cool. I like the stuff that's coming up, but I just don't have that consistency. But and for me, it's doing what I'm wanting to do, and that's producers and stuff are seeing it and seeing the quality and seeing what I'm doing, actually coming and having a yarn, which is quite nice. But I'm just not getting those clicks, bro. You're getting those clicks. You're getting the modern day payback.
Yeah. Well, I think, I think we're both getting the exact, sort of purpose of what we're aiming. Like, I mean, you're definitely putting that production value and that time into it, and the important people are seeing it.
Yeah.
I think for me, I was just, my only real, because I suppose you're familiar to the industry already, and people know you. That was kind of my only intention with mine, was just to get myself out there. No matter how it looked.
No, it's fucking good, man. I'm fucking cracking up, eh? I think yours is some of the best shit that I've seen come out of this lockdown in New Zealand, eh?
I appreciate it, bro.
It's very genuine, and I'm like, fucking hell, that's some funny stuff, man. It's really good.
Thanks, brother.
I just can't wait to get out of this lockdown. I can't wait to get out of this lockdown so we can all work together and do some stuff. I'm like, man.
Oh, bro, hard out. I think,
yeah.
I think the coolest thing, bro, for us will be like, I think where you find real genuine gold is in marrying, the two things that we both are doing.
Yeah. Slap them together, eh? Add some John Tarper and see what happens.
Because I mean, in the production, yeah. But like I said, bro, I would honestly prefer, I would much rather be able to pull off your ones. But I just don't even have like the very basic organization skills, let alone like the eye for it. So I think, I think where you find gold is the amount of production value you have in yours. And then just, the odd little stupid thing that I have in mine.
Nah, bro, yours a fucking gold, man. I wouldn't change it, eh? It's very, very funny.
Cheers, brother.
But nah, that was one of the hard things, eh, bro? Like it felt like there were a lot of wheels in motion for people, stuff that we were involved with, a lot of chats we were
Yeah, bro.
having, and all sorts of things. And then suddenly the rug just gets pulled out from underneath you, eh? And it's
Oh,
frustrating.
bro. It's fuck. I would even say like for me, bro, it was almost like even devastating, because it was one of those hard things where I had like a lot of things going on. I was very lucky to have kind of put myself in a position to like have things going, and then to have it sort of pulled out. But I was talking to a lot of my mates, bro, and like all of us were in the same position.
Yep.
But it's funny that we're only really being honest about it, near the tail end of it. I think we all tried to play it off at the start, but I think we're all kind of feeling that.
Yeah.
Because was it tough for you to sort of deal with, exactly what I was saying before, going from 100 to 0, like literally within a day?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was hard. But as I said before, I kind of looked forward to it. But the hard part was suddenly the first couple of days were fine. The first couple of days were like, sweet, relax, chill out, do nothing, do some DIY, whatever, just do some stuff to try and keep the mind busy. But after about a week, you start missing that human contact. I find creativity to be it's a community. It's a communal thing. It's communal activity.
Yeah, bro.
And to be having to do it alone has been sort of like, it's been ratchet, man. It's been really, really hard. It's been tricky. My girl's here too. She's helping out, which is good, but it's just different. It's a different kind of communication between us. Whereas when I'm communicating with people like yourself and others, we're just sort of having fun.
It just clicks.
Yeah. If you have one little creative argument with a girlfriend, it's kind of like, oh man, I've got another 3 weeks to stay in the house.
And it only takes a minute to get off you're not even talking about the video at this point. You're talking about some other shit.
We're talking about is the recycling day today, or is it just rubbish day today? Have you taken both out? I don't know. Have you taken?
I was asking you about this camera angle.
I just want to know if the color was okay. Come on, turn your bone. Damn, production value. Shit.
Yeah. No, I've been struggling with that too, man, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's no. What was it? So you see, like you're aiming for that. We were all aiming for that 4 week. And now we've got sort of another 2 weeks of this happening. It was confusing when she announced it too, because she goes, on Monday. And then she says, so on Tuesday, we're going, wait, didn't you say Monday? Because no one realized that. Handshake Day was a day off. Today's a day off. Not that it really matters anyway, because it's all a day off now anyway. So it was a little bit confusing. So tomorrow's exciting because we can have coffee.
On a day, oh, bro. I'm looking for, it's completely irresponsible for me to say, but I know I'm going to stretch the rules just a little bit. I'm not going to break a bubble or anything, but I know I'm going to go to maybe another suburb to get something that I could probably get here. I'm going to be a little bit naughty.
I'm going to go to Crave Cafe. It's 2 blocks away. Great coffees in Hillsborough, bro.
Yeah.
There's Tiana 2 coffees. I'm great, eh?
No, they're not the best.
That is something that I'm wondering about, eh? Like, even though we're going to level 3, how many people are going to break those rules?
Is in the top.
Were you breaking up? He's breaking up. Is he still? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, bro. My Wi-Fi is absolute dog. How's it sounding now?
That's better. It's all good. 56K modems, man. Fucking, you better upgrade soon.
Yeah, bro. Sorry, I got to sort my shit out. I think it's one of those things, bro, where like, as soon as you let the dog out the cage and on the leash, like he's gonna just start going fucking nuts and like barking at other dogs and shit and trying to bite people on the ass. So I can imagine like that. Because it's gonna be the first time everybody's been able to like leave properly.
Yeah.
Like they're joking if they think everybody's just gonna drive to KFC and go home. People are gonna be going fucking all over the place.
Oh yeah, shit yeah. Hell yeah. The only thing is we just can't stay anywhere. So we can go to KFC or McDonald's, get your food or whatever, and then go somewhere and get a feed. But everyone's going to go to the park. Everyone's going to go to the beach.
Oh, for sure.
They're all going to, conglomerate somewhere. And even though we're not allowed to stay in the restaurants, people are still going to want to have some form of community because we're social animals, man.
Oh, bro.
You can't take that away. You
Yeah,
know?
man.
It's almost go on.
Oh, so no, go.
It's almost getting to the point where, fuck, it's hard to say, but is it worth it? Like, we've done our part, right? We've done well to get level 4, to get down to the numbers that we've got now. But there's got to be a line somewhere where it's like, right,
For sure.
are we losing who we are as humans? Are we losing everything that we have socially? Is it because it's affecting people's mental state? It's affecting our culture. Obviously it's affecting businesses. It's affecting so much. It's like, well, where do we draw the line?
Yeah.
Because for me, it's the social aspect of it, and the work stuff, and that's nice. But bro, I need that human contact, flesh.
I fully agree. Fully agree. And I think it's one of those things, man. It's been interesting where they, the justification has always been. It comes down to the economy. They've always said the economy was going to suffer regardless, and which I can understand, I guess, but what they haven't been talking about is the social implications. The domestic violence, the mental health, sort of that whole side of things. Like, I was sweet before lockdown. I have been sweet. I've been feeling good, and even like I've had a few days where I'm just like, fuck this.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine someone who was already off the hinges.
Mm.
And fucking, I know there's a lot of them even just in Te Arotu, let alone in Auckland.
Yeah. People on breaking point.
I fully agree, but it's like, where do you kind of draw the line?
Yeah. Well, there are some positive stuff that's out of it as well, though, bro. There's some, we're going to have to. We've learned how to be a bit more local. We've learned how to. It's okay to actually take some time off and relax and spend time with family if you've got it, or spend time with loved ones if you've got them, and just sort of focus on some other stuff. And 4 weeks was a long time, but it was reasonable. When you start pushing into 6 weeks, and then heaven forbid if we get into like 8 weeks or something stupid, then it's like, man, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know. It sounds horrible, and my heart goes out to anyone who's lost anyone in this, in COVID. But in New Zealand, it's been predominantly, it's been all actually people over 70.
Yeah.
People with predisposed problems, and it's like, I don't want to focus on the deaths. I focus on the numbers that are how fewer cases are being found now, which is awesome. It's that positivity, But no, there has been some positives that have come out of it for us, I think, as individuals. It's been positive to sort of have some downtime and have some time to yourself. But now I want to put it into practice. We all want to get out there and what have I learned? I've learned how to be patient. I've learned a few more little self-healing skills, and now we've just got to get out there and use those skills and actually, for the betterment of society.
For sure. Yeah. And like, I would like, I would love to see kind of like how, preventing this, like how it can be brought in a sustainable way. Like, locking us in our houses for weeks on end obviously isn't sustainable in any sense.
No.
So, so I would like to see, and I'm, people will take that as being critical. Like, I fully agree. Like, it was the right thing to do. It's obviously brought us the right results.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's when I start hearing about we might just lock you guys for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like another 3 weeks. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Not that simple for like.
Yeah.
And I know they understand that it's not, but it's still like, why don't we talk about like how we can sustain it and still be able to operate as a society?
Yeah, I know that there's going to be some very intelligent people in crunching the numbers their way. Like, they've thought about all this stuff. So I hope that the best people are actually thinking about these things. What are we losing for? What are we gaining, and all that sort of carry on. But I'm pretty sure the best people are doing it, and I hope there's no political incentives. That's the thing that worries me. You look at America, man. It's all political incentives. They're fucked. What are they doing? Trump's a moron.
They're just zoomed. Yeah,
right.
Their numbers zoomed, man. They're the Michael Jordan of COVID-19, that's for sure. They got
the GOAT.
They're topping the stat charts.
Slow clap for the States. Well done. You've topped it. 50,000 deaths. Well done, you.
Bro, man, just nothing about that place just seems like attractive to me, man. Like,
nah. Have you been to the States, eh?
No, I've never been, bro. I've never been.
The
Nah,
States is awesome, man. Like despite what we see on TV, because obviously the media dictates what we watch, right? And we see some
yeah,
pretty tragic shit. Like we see Trump, we see the killings, we see all that sort of stuff. But it's a massive place, 360 odd million people,
yeah.
and it's beautiful. Like LA's amazing. Like, no, okay, take that back. LA's a shithole, but California's beautiful. And
I've heard LA's like dirty ass.
bro, it's Paku, man. I remember the first time I arrived in LA. I was 20. I was 25 or something, flying to LA for a job, and we touched down. I was excited. The doors open up, and it's just brown, and it smells. It smells like chlorine or something. It's fucking strange.
Oh my god.
It was gross, but everything was so much bigger. Everything's bigger in the States. The cars are bigger, and everything's bigger. So that was kind of cool. But LA wasn't like no high-rise buildings or anything. It's all like flat. It stinks until you get to Hollywood and stuff, and then it's all a bit different. But yeah,
What's Hollywood like?
Oh, it's very touristy. You know what I mean? Like you go to Hollywood Boulevard and the Hollywood Hills and all that touristy as, and then you get to the Hollywood Hills and you can actually look at the houses because they're amazing mansions and all that. And then, but Hollywood's just studios, man. That's all it is. Like, yeah, it's just a bunch of studios. But it's
because they have a place there called Studio City, right?
Yeah. You got Studio City, and then you've got, is it Burbank Studios, and then where do they make the porn? Fuck, I'm just trying to think of where they make the porn.
I think that's 10
San Fernando.
I think I know the address.
You know the address, hey, off by heart. The San Fernando Valley is where they make the adult entertainment. But there's something about it, eh? If you watch that movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino's latest film.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
It's just like that. Like if he's fucking amazing, but it sort of captures that vibe and that feel of the place and the color.
Yeah,
that sort of muted yellow. It's a weird kind of place, but it's cool, man. I love it.
Yeah,
it's fun. But it was every time you land in LA, your first impression is always a bit like stink. LA airport sucks. And then you have to drive over Compton to get to the main city, and you're like, wow.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think it's Compton.
You have to try. Bro, is Compton what like we all think it is, or is it?
Bro, I don't know. I drove over it, man. I didn't stop off. You're on the interstate.
Yeah,
of course. Go over the top of it, and you look down, and it's rugged, eh? It looks. Oh, I don't know. What can you compare it to? Nothing really. I was going to say, maybe. Oh no, I don't even want to say South Auckland because it's not like South Auckland's vibrant compared to what I saw there. Anyway, yeah, nah.
I mean, South Auckland. Like parts of Mangere like have their stretches, but I mean Compton is probably like a bad street in Mangere, but for a whole fucking suburb. Yeah, for a whole suburb. And we're talking about America. And so far we've just talked about one small city, and they've got like 100 cities, and they're all different. You know, America's cool, man. It is a beautiful place, and it's not. You definitely can't take what you see on TV, what you see on the news, as gospel as to what America actually is, because and I mean I've got mates that live in LA and they all love it. I don't know a single one of them that doesn't. So but yeah, I don't know. Just there's always been something about it that it never attracted me to ever want to like spend a large amount of time there.
Couldn't live there, right?
Nah. Yeah, visiting for sure would give a go, but I don't know about like living there.
You're always thinking to yourself, who's packing heat, man? Who's carrying a gun? That's the thing that freaks me out. Everyone's carrying a gun. I'm like, what?
It is freaky, like, because they're allowed to carry around like assault rifles, right? Like,
some states you can carry. You can pack serious heat in certain states, man. You can just strap what do they call it? AK. Whatever. Anyway, massive guns on your back and just walk around. And it's completely legal. It's weird, man. It's weird. I haven't seen that, but I know of it.
Yeah, and we like kicked up a huge fuss when that cop was in the countdown the other day, and he had the taser behind his back. New Zealand's like, oh bless. Oh,
yeah.
He's just like, he can't hold it behind his back. So.
What's he doing?
He can hold it.
I find that very threatening. I'm just trying to buy my pasta, my gluten-free pasta, and you're packing a taser. I'm not happy about this.
Well, that shit was so Kiwi. It was pretty it's been funny just seeing, because bro, I've purposely been not getting everything I need from the supermarket so I can like go back and forth.
Bro,
I know,
it's such
bro.
a dude thing to do. I would have done the same thing, man. But under my circumstances, we're going into the big shop, right?
Yeah.
We're doing the weekly. We're trying to do a whole
Yeah.
week. But
I'm literally going to do it. But it's so funny, bro. Like, no one at the supermarket gives a fuck. Like, I went last night and people were bumping into me.
yeah,
People just like stopping talking to each other. Like,
yeah. No one gives a shit. No one cares. I do like I went to Pack and Save, and they've got that. You text it in, and you can wait in your car, and rather than queuing up outside, right? Which is kind of cool. I thought, man,
yeah, that is me.
someone's taking advantage of the situation. I think a lot of people taking advantage. But we'll get back to that. But someone's got some brains on, so people can wait in the car, and you get the text, and you go inside, and you think, oh, yeah, everyone's pretty, far apart and all that sort of thing. Nah, it's like a fucking scrum.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, it's full on, and you're walking past, and you can see them trying to keep away, but in the end, it's like, I don't care.
No, just don't care. Right? Like, still got to just fucking scoot past. Bro, the security guard at Countdown last night was just, he literally, there was 3 of us still standing at the thing. He'd just let in, like, I guess the designated amount of people, and he just looks at us 3 and is just like, just go in.
He's
I probably shouldn't know. I always specify which Countdown.
Which Countdown's that, bro? Oh, that over in.
Yeah.
I know
His
exactly
name
what
was,
you're talking about. Yeah. What was his name?
but yeah, it's been funny just seeing. Don't worry, that's a hay fever cough.
Yeah, Corona. Every time I cough, man, I remember before we went into lockdown, you'd be going to supermarkets or anywhere, and you just cough or you have a tickle in the throat, and people look at you, like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah,
and ostracize you. I'm like, oh fuck it. Something went down the wrong tunnel. Don't worry about
it. The funniest status I saw was coughing is the new N word. and it's so like I'll be out in public and like I'll feel a cough coming. I'll be like,
yeah.
Try to hide it.
You feel dirty. You feel like you got to wash your mouth out with soap. Hey.
Yeah. And it's like, yo, I'm young as fuck. I'm one of the sweet ones.
What did I hear one day? I used to cough to hide my farts, and now I fart to hide my coughs. That's okay. Yeah, man. That's gonna be. But even coming.
It's so true.
Say again. Even
no. Sorry, Rebecca.
Yeah, I was gonna say even coming out of this though, like when we get to level 2, it's still gonna be like that though, eh? The coughing and like the embarrassment of all that, I'm just hoping we get back to. I miss hugs, man. I had a job. Right, I had a job the other day over at NZME for Easter weekend. So I go in, and it was considered to be a what do you call it when you essential service. So we went in and did the show.
You talk ZB thing,
Yeah. So it was that, and I was there all day, and different people coming in, and we kept our distance. No one touched or anything like that. It's so weird. Because I work with these people every 6 months, either Christmas or New Year's. Christmas or Easter, and that's 6 months. Have a hug, handshake, bit of a kiss on the cheek, and nothing, man. And everyone's it was just no one wanted to break that. It was good though. No one wanted to break that rule. But it's still kind of like, oh man, I can't wait to touch again.
It's so funny, bro. Because before this, I was always like so sure of myself that like I'm not an affectionate person and that I'm an introvert. And I've just realized in this whole thing, bro, that I am an extrovert and that I am an affectionate person because I've seen this. I've seen some people and just like straight up just been like, bro, can we just like at least dap up, please? Or let me spit on your hand, man. Just let me do something.
Open your mouth.
Just let me do something, man.
What was I going to say? I felt the same way, man. Like I always thought I was a extroverted introvert. You know what I mean? Like I'm comfortable in big settings. I'm comfortable with cameras. I'm comfortable public speaking, all that sort of stuff. But when I'm not on a stage or anything like that, I'm introverted. I'm like, I'm not the first to shake the hand. I'm not the first to give the hug. And now it's just like, hold me, somebody hold me.
Because I realized for me, bro, what it was is it's not that I'm like I think I still am that in a sense because I definitely like doing things by myself 100%. But I think before I was just like more just lazy. I think I became like
Yeah.
content and like, I was taking sort of people's interactions for granted. And then now that it's like been taken away, I've started to realize like, fuck, I do actually like it. I was just like,
I think another thing is with it too, a lot of people, so you sound pretty much similar to me, people like us, it's just we don't want to offend anybody by being the first to go in for the handshake, by being the first to hug, or because it's a little, and you sometimes have those awkward little moments, but you just, it's hard to strap it on and actually get in there because you don't want to be the one who offends somebody. But in the end of the day, it's just like, fuck it, man, do what you want to do. And that's what I feel now. Like, I'm like, oh, you know what? I can't wait to get my hugs on.
Yeah, well, I think that's why me and you clicked from the get-go, is because we're both very much the type of dudes where, like, we're only going to talk to somebody if we're going to have, like, a fucking real good conversation.
Yeah.
And that's obviously, like, we'll do that with, like, any random.
Yeah.
And so that's why we hold back, because we're like, well, if we start young, we're not going to small talk, bro. We're just going to fucking talk about, like...
Yeah, you're digging pretty hard and fast, but you've got to... Yeah, I think we like to just analyze the situation a little bit first. And then go, yep, this will work, and then you slide in, because I can't do idle chit chat. I can't tell you. I don't give a fuck about the weather, man.
No, straight up. And like fucking the thing I see every fucking day. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's about, I don't know, hot chicks or something. Something fucking that's gonna embarrass you.
Nah,
but yeah, I think that's what I realized from like before all this shit happened was like one of the big reasons I held back is because I'm very much like an invested conversator, and I do actually get a lot of joy out of it. Because I think I'd convinced myself I didn't like it, but I've just realized over this whole period like how much I miss it.
Yeah.
I've been like house party every day, bro, Zooming, fucking like doing all of it, FaceTiming people.
Yeah. That's been kind of fun, actually. It's funny. We never took advantage of that. That technology has always been there, but no one really took advantage of it, eh? No one really. And now I'm like, I hardly ever see my cousins, right? Like as a group, weddings, funerals, all that sort of thing. But the other day, one of them called up and it was all of them. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
We never talk. And here we are.
Wow.
It was mean.
It's so good.
I think another thing that's going to come out of this is we realize that we don't have to be in the same room. We don't have to go somewhere to have a meeting. We can actually do this via the internet, save time, save money.
100%. Yeah, how effective that you actually bang on about that, because even like even like podcasts, but meetings you can get just as much out of it as just fucking talking.
Yeah,
face.
Totally. There's nothing worse than there's nothing worse than going to a creative meeting and you walk out of that meeting going, I could have been emailed that shit.
Oh, bro.
Why did I come?
especially like, because I'm the type, bro, that like it happens every time. If I feel like if I'm getting brought in for something, I always like have this like false expectation that like, oh shit, something amazing is going to happen, and then I go on and it's like, all right, let's fucking plan the next meeting. I'm like, what, bro? You could have Morse coded this to me. Why the fuck did I have to come in?
or they have a meeting talking about the last meeting. It's like, as we're recalling the last meeting, we were talking about blah, 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 blah. What? Yeah, but what? Hey, take notes, man. Take minutes.
Yeah.
Why are you telling me this?
Straight up.
It's like when you go to parties, bro. You go to parties and you hang out with people. I don't like those people, right? And this happens quite often in New Zealand. You go to parties and all they do is talk about the last party, or they talk about the parties before. And it's like, let's have a new party.
Yeah. We're literally watching. We're at one right now.
But this is lame because this is just a reminiscent party. It's bullshit.
Oh, for sure. And then like they've got one or two other mates and they're all just telling stories from that party. And the stories are never even that good either. And it's like, fucking... Yeah. I could one-up that right now.
Yeah.
You make it as ass out? All right.
I can make a lie out right now. It's going to be better than this. But no, it's true. And people, the in-jokes. And it's like, fucking Palangis and their in-jokes. I said it.
I said nothing.
It's like, why?
Nothing annoys me more than an in-joke.
Mate, I know, right? So, great. 4 of you get this. That's great. The other 15 of us can just get drunk and admire.
We'll just sit here and go fuck ourselves. Yeah. There's nothing. But that's also like, it's so funny that whenever I see that, I always immediately know it's like these four don't have anything to talk about.
No.
And so the one thing that they have in common, which is this one party that they went to, that's why they're fucking talking about that shit.
Yeah. And it sounds hilarious, but it doesn't sound hilarious.
It's never.
What the fuck is going on?
It's never that good. All I know is that the next party that I'm going to is because I wasn't like I'm not a big drinker, bro. I'm not like a big partier, but I know the first party I'm getting invited to, I'm going, and I'm just fucking losing the absolute plot.
Right, because it was supposed to be I was supposed to have my birthday last week. We were going to get in a good Georgian town, but obviously it didn't happen. So whenever we get the word, it's like, right, I'm booking it, we're doing it, because I had a lot of people wanting to come. Let's just do it. Let's just get rip roared. It's going to be fun. We're going to all be high-fiving and hugging and touching. It's going to be great. And they probably have the rule: only 10 people in at a time, please. Fuck.
Oh, it's gonna be some shit. Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, I fucking can't wait for the day that. I imagine it's just gonna be a day where they're just like literally on the news, like, all right, you can all touch each other now,
and go.
That's how I imagine it works.
Or I imagine like the next day we get up, we walk outside as though we've been like in a cave for the last 6 weeks. We're walking outside and you go over to your neighbor who you've never spoken to ever before and you like slowly hug them in the middle of the street with cars. Cars are stopping in the middle of the road. People are getting out and hugging. You know, you imagine that. It's not going to be like that.
Bro, I think the funniest thing is it honestly might be because like I've never spoken to my neighbors and this whole 4 weeks. I mean, we still haven't spoken, but we've been saying hi. Never said hi before. Bro,
break that barrier, man. We're the same, actually. We've met every neighbor around this house, and I haven't been that long. But Holly's like, I haven't met any of them really. And we've met every single one of them. All of them are waving now when we walk outside.
Yeah.
You know, as we're painting the house, as I say, oh, good job, well done. They're all Indian, by the way. Not that I'm taking the piss, but you know, they're all like, oh, well done, it's beautiful. And they're coming up and saying, oh, I love the color. And
you guys in Papatoy or
Hillsborough, bro. Hillsborough.
That's a random one.
It is a random one, but every single, all of them either are Asian of some description and lovely people. They're all really, really cool.
I love that.
Very meticulous too, because they're all doing DIY.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like, I've never when I go for walks and stuff, everybody's waving at each other, everyone's smiling. I'm not used to people smiling at me when they cross the street. Usually it's just head down. Phones in hand.
That sort of shit, hey. But everyone's just desperate for that eye contact now, eh? It's like, look at me. Look at me. Oh,
it's so funny. It's so fun. They really are. They're like waiting for it and then like the wave and oh, bro. The saddest. Oh, I don't want to say the saddest, but like, so I go on this. I just do the same route every day.
Yep.
And then I go for a walk. No jokes. I go on the same walk every day. And this old dude, bro, just sits in the window of his house. And I wave at him every day, but he's just sitting in the same spot every day.
Hey. He's probably by himself, eh? He's probably got no one else.
Yeah. But I think the saddest thing is that like none of us are allowed to go near him as well.
Yeah, you can't even drop stuff off legally, eh? In case you've passed the cooties on.
Yeah.
Through touch or whatever. Man, that's tough, man. That's hard going.
It is sad, man.
I feel for those people living by themselves. And I feel sorry for those families that have lost somebody in an old folks home or something, because you just can't, not allowed near it, eh?
Bro, that was the worst. Fuck, when I read that was actually guttering. It's like, they weren't even allowed to go near a family member that's passing away.
Bro, that's rough, man. But then they say things like, oh, but the people who are working here, they're well versed in like looking after people and care and all that. It's not the same. Don't tell us that it's the same.
Oh, straight up. Yeah. Fuck, I could not think of anything worse. Bro, that shit is horrible. I mean, to be honest, if I was in that position, I'd just be like, oh, fuck it. When I'm emotional, I can be quite a selfish, but I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I'll probably just like hop through the window.
Take off.
If one of the people try to stop me, I'll just like cough on them or something.
Stand back. I got a hanky. Stand back. I got a hanky. You've been warned.
I'm weaponized. I'm weaponized.
COVID, motherfucker. COVID Glock. So, bro, what are you hoping to do when you get out of this anyway, work-wise? Like, are you able to turn anything over while we're in lockdown, or are you pretty much just waiting to get out?
So yeah, the biggest thing. So I'm developing a short film at the moment.
Yep.
So was working on that sort of prior to lockdown. So I'll be doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, a big focus kind of on my TV and film writing once lockdown is done.
Yeah.
It's obviously writing is something I can do whenever, so that hasn't stopped necessarily, but it's more like the pitching and meetings and sort of shit like that.
Yeah.
So sort of focusing on that, but then just continuing just to do social media stuff. Stand-up's on hold for the time being, so
Yeah.
it's actually kind of a blessing because
Yeah.
that was having so many things to focus on is quite tough when you can't multitask for shit. So
it's
so
hard.
fortunately having a few things put to sleep has been good for me, to be honest. So just straight into those, bro, pretty much.
It's a tricky one, when you've got a lot of strings to the bow, trying to, because sometimes it feels like you're putting a little bit into everything instead of really doing a good job on one or two things.
100%.
You know? So yeah, that's one of the things when we come out of this, I'm gonna make a conscious effort to do is just, right, what are the main things that what are the main big projects that I want to actually do? And who are the people that I can surround myself with that actually are going to take it seriously?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's going to be the number one for me, bro, is I've been lucky. I'm kind of making enough through my podcast now that I can start to look at sort of my options for support and stuff, because I've always done everything on my own, like every aspect, and it's at the point now where, you know, if I want to retain momentum on all the things I'm doing, I'm going to need help. I'm going to have to get help, otherwise it's just not possible. So that's definitely my next priority as well. Yeah.
I think it's the thing for a lot of us, is surrounding yourself with the right people who can take some of the slack, who have those skills that we don't have, you know?
Yeah.
That actually can boost up the things that we're doing. Creating a nice little hub would be good.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's funny, bro, because I always looked at it as kind of, I'm just looking for help, but I think my attitude completely changed. You know, I just been reading a lot and watching a lot of things, and you know, when you're bringing people on board to help you, it needs to be someone that's better at it than you are. Whereas I was always kind of looking at, you know, I just need the help. I'll just show someone how to do it. But the only way you're going to help yourself is it's someone that can do shit you can't.
Yeah, exactly. If you start showing people how to do something, you've just added another job.
Oh, for sure, man.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's like the whole reason you're getting them is because you don't have the time. So like,
yeah. The hardest part is because I've had a few partners in different projects in the past. The hardest, and they're really good, but the hardest part is that just having that trust and going, okay, there you go, and not micromanaging. Yeah. But I love team creativity. Being able to go, whatever you think, let's go with what you think, and let's try it out. It might not work. You have some good discussions, and that's what it's all about, man. You know?
It's definitely a weak point of mine, bro, because I'm very much like if I can do it, I'll just do it. And so like, if I feel like, you know, they're sort of falling behind or they're not really getting it, then I'm always just like, oh, fuck, I'll just do it, which I always thought was a good thing. And then I've started to realize as I've gotten older, you know, and started to get busy, I'm like, well, actually that kind of thing is hurting me. So I need to just cut that shit out.
Yeah. It's especially hard, I think, when you do comedy, because you think, oh, they're just not getting it. You're not getting the joke. I'll just step the fuck back. I'll do it. I'll show you what I mean. And eventually you do it and it's good or whatever, but it's never quite as good as if you had a group who actually understood everything that you were trying to. And it's a skill in itself, bro. Directing's a skill in itself, you know. That's exactly that thing that, you know, you probably need to just sit down and take some time learning and surround yourself with the right people and have some faith. Oh,
for sure. Yeah. And I think like watching, you know, watching a lot of documentaries like, you know, Kevin Hart and a few that are on Netflix. It's been interesting to see how they kind of built up their support network and their team. It took them years to sort of get to where they are. So it's something that I guess I just kind of have to realize that it's not going to be an overnight thing. You know, the perfect person isn't just going to pop out.
No, and you're always going to make mistakes, man. Like I'm fucking 41 now. Jesus. Like I'm 41 now and I've made so many fuck ups. I've had the wrong business partners. I've collaborated with the wrong people on certain things, and you're going to do it all the time. But also I've had successes as well.
Of
But
course.
yeah, it's just going to happen. But eventually you'll get onto a rhythm, and that rhythm will, next thing you know, that rhythm's lasted 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years with the right group of people. And yeah, no, you're buying a penthouse in Hollywood Hills. Sweet ass.
There we go. There we go. For the people that like didn't work out, bro, like when did you sort of start to realize that it wasn't working? Was it like a thing where you kind of had a guess that it might not work from the start, or was it like a slow?
Both. Sometimes it was like I had questions at the start, but for me, it's like I always try to give benefit of the doubt to begin with, and I think, oh yeah, I believe in something, because I've always wanted to start something up where I'm helping other people get together and be creative and all that. So
Yeah.
I've always intentions, but sometimes you miss red flags.
Yeah.
You know, you think, oh, this person's good at this and this and this, but there's a big part of something else that they're missing, and yeah, that's happened to me a lot. And
Yeah.
it is what it is, you know. And then I end up going back to doing everything again myself for certain projects, and then other people come along and you try them out again. You try them out. But sometimes it's from the beginning. You think to yourself, oh, I don't know about this, and you should have went with your gut. And sometimes it's a slow burn before you realize, actually, they're slack.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's just creative differences, you know, not necessarily laziness or anything. There's just a genuine creative difference. So it's like, this isn't going this way. Maybe another project will come along where you can work with that person, but for whatever it is that's in front of you right now, it may not be the right thing. So
Yeah.
you know, there's always differences. But the other thing is, bro, the other thing that I find really important is to find people. You may not work with them on the same projects all the time, but they're always there that you can discuss projects with. So for example, say you and I, we don't work on anything ever in our lives together, but we can always sit down and talk about the projects we're working on, have a laugh, and just give a little bit of advice, you know. And you can either say, that's a good piece of advice, or go fuck yourself, that was stupid. But it's good to have those people in your life too, you know.
Oh, hard out, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, fucking, of course of course I consider that, and you 100%, bro. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's I've been very lucky to things sort of start to building up quickly, and a lot of my goals have moved a bit forward. But it's if anything, it exposes you when that happens, because it shows you like what you haven't prepared for.
Yep. Yeah.
And so that's kind of the position I'm in at the moment. It's just trying to like figure out, okay, I need to really need to build that support network, because for ages I just sort of put it off because I was like, oh, I'm probably not going to need it for ages.
Yeah.
And then now it's here, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Mate, I was I've always had this fight with myself, and it's like, man, if I got a PA years ago, you know, some kid that I could pay $300 a week to just to take care of my emails, take care of basic stuff and all that sort of thing, I would be flying now.
Oh, bro, hard out.
But I didn't do it because it's like, I just couldn't justify the expense, I thought.
Yeah.
And all that. But it's like you end up doing all this admin shit, which takes away from your craft. And mate, there's something in it, eh? There's something having a good support person there. And there are these like online support now, but it's not the same.
Yeah. And that was my thing, bro. I need a person. I need someone I can talk to face to face. Yeah, but it was that's probably been the biggest thing I've been looking into, is just seeing people, you know, what part of their journeys they were bringing in help. And you know, it's always a consensus, as soon as you can afford it, and even if you can't, just do it, because there's like, especially for me and you, like, you know, heavily creative dudes, like we think in just about every aspect of our lives creatively. There's only so much, like, you know, shit I want to send to my accountant. There's only so many fucking receipts I want to have to, like, you know, before I'm just like, my accountant hates me, bro, because I send everything to her like a month late because I'm just fucking useless with admin.
It's because you're Fijian, bro. Bro. Fiji time, man.
Straight up. I mean, you know that wholeheartedly. I don't think I've ever turned up early for something you've asked me to do.
True. Bro, you're early for this. I was like, holy shit, this can't be right.
That's the first time. It's because I'm literally stuck at home.
So true.
Yeah, bro. But
no,
no,
I'm
as soon as
yeah,
the support, man.
yeah. No, you got to get around your way. I'm exactly the same, man. I'm late for everything. I drive my accountant nuts. I've probably wasted tens of thousands of dollars in my lifetime on late fees. You know, things
Oh,
being late or whatever. You know, it's so
yeah.
stupid. But that's just
Bro,
some of us are like that.
100%. I've not been self-employed anywhere near as long as you have been, and I reckon I'd be close to this.
It's terrifying.
Close to those numbers.
Bro, imagine if we still had to hire out videotapes from a video store, man. I was like,
Oh,
I was hundreds of dollars in late
I'd be
fees.
fucked, bro. I'd be fucked. My parents' place in Wellies, bro. The funniest thing, because me and my brothers, all three of us are like that.
Yeah.
You can go through our bookshelf, bro, and it's just like Lower Hutt Library, like Wainui Secret Library, like all the stickers from the libraries just on the books, because we kept them so long that the library is just like, fucking write that book off.
It's so true. Bro, straight up, bro, straight up, serious question. Do you reckon there's a Polynesian thing in that? Like people say New Zealanders are she'll be right, but no one is a she'll be right as Polly's, bro.
Oh, for sure, bro.
You know
And
what I mean?
it reflects on every part of you know, I can mention this without it becoming sort of that kind of conversation, but you know, our sort of mental health suicide stats, bro, they fully explain that it's a constant throughout our whole lives, this attitude like it's going to be fine, whatever, they'll be sweet. You know, we hold the whole world to that regard, that it'll be sweet. So imagine how we hold it to ourselves personally. But
that's exactly right.
It fully is that, bro.
Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Because what happens is we think to ourselves, she'll be right. And it's actually dead on what you were saying. We think the whole world thinks that same way. And then eventually that catches up to you.
Yeah.
And then you're trapped.
Yeah.
And then this world's just not made for that, man. I mean, it's a shame the cultural differences between all cultures. You know, some cultures are very practical, very pragmatic. Other cultures are very relaxed and very calm, and we're all different. And sometimes, you know, we've thrown these cultures together in the last only about 100 years, man, 150 years, and we're expecting all of those cultures to work in a Western style. Yeah, man. And it works. Predominantly, it works, but for there's something deep within us. You know, I'm talking.
For sure.
Obviously, the audience who are looking at this are looking at a white man saying this, but I'm actually Samoan. My mum's Samoan, so I understand, you know, deeply about that feeling.
Yeah, it's cultural. It's deeply ingrained. I mean, I grew up I grew up in Malaysia. I grew up around. You know, I grew up in a heavily Western expat, because like expat communities overseas is about as Western you can get, because they're like trying to sustain the Western society within like a country that doesn't have that. So like their Western society times a million. And so I grew up in that, and even through all of that, I still had that very, you know, obviously fucking as you know, D, is that whole attitude like it's gonna be sweet. And so that's why like I knew it must be like just deeply ingrained in us kind of as a culture, as a society, because
I
it's
think funny because
no, sorry, bro.
I was going to say, because there's nothing wrong with the drive, you know what I mean? I think Polly's they've got the drive. We've got the drive to succeed, and we've got the drive to push stuff, but it's just, there comes a point where we're just like, that'll do, that's enough. Or, you know, it's hard to explain clearly.
Bro, you're bang on about that, man. And I think that's why so many polys have huge sort of identity crisis, is because we do have both sides. We have this massive ass drive and massive ass urge to be something. Like we all have this natural as fire, which is why, you know, there's a reason why anything to do with aggression we're amazing at naturally, because we have this natural burning desire. But then we also have this other side of us that's just like, oh, but nah, it's all good. And so, you know, having that two parts of your personality clashing, like no wonder so many of us sort of struggle to understand ourselves mentally, because one side of us is telling like, fuck, I want to be the everything in the world. And the other side is telling me like, shut up, boss. Like, just go fucking
That's why I look at someone like The Rock and I'm like, bullshit, bro. You don't get up at 4 o'clock every morning. Bullshit. Come on. You say you're the hardest worker in the room. Where are you, bro?
Oh, bro.
Have you done that
Yeah.
third set? Come on, really?
Yeah.
Because you're Samoan, you don't need to do that third set, but you're telling us you are. I don't know if you are, bro. I'm not fully believing you, man.
Straight up. But you know, like fucking dude, bro, he is like the perfect example of like, you know, an islander that's embraced just about every positive aspect of the culture and you know, been able to curve you know what can be deemed the negative aspects.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
he's a fucking
I think it's brilliant what he's done for Polynesian culture. I think watching people like him and Jason Momoa to a degree, but he's way more Palani than he is
for sure.
Hawaiian. But you certainly look at someone like The Rock, and over the last 5 or 6 years with movies like Moana and all that sort of thing, it's really given Polynesians an identity, and it's cool. And it's cool to be Polynesian. I remember when I was in high school, I went to Wesley College, predominantly Tongan Samoan school, and they all associated themselves with black culture in the States.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I was like, what are you guys doing, man?
It's funny when it was like that back then, hey?
Yeah. Malcolm X didn't do anything for you. You know, you didn't come out of slavery. What are you talking about? You've got your own problem. And you ask them about the history of their countries, and they wouldn't have any idea about the civil wars in Samoa, or they wouldn't have any idea about the clashes between Tongans and Samoans back in 100, 200 years ago. They don't know about that shit. They talk about slavery. And I'm like, you idiots. You guys are retarded. I mean, sure, know that culture and know that history. That's great to know. But it's not yours, and you shouldn't claim it, and you shouldn't talk like that because you have your own thing. Now, fast forward 20-odd years, The Rock happens and all this sort of stuff. I went and I filmed a project at a primary school, or was it an intermediate? I can't remember now. And it was a Polynesian school, and all of them were poly crazy. All of them. And I was like, I got honestly, in all honesty, I got emotional with it. I was like, this is amazing. I'm so rapt to see this actually happen and people understanding their culture rather than associating themselves with something which really isn't anything to do with them whatsoever. So I was stoked with that. So you drawing it back to The Rock. He's the man.
Yeah. He's got that fire. He's got that, you know, he's got that just relentless like pride for his culture. Because I mean, you guys saw him on everyone saw him on Hobbs and Shaw. He can barely speak the language, but he's so prideful and so like honored to be where he's from. And like that's what fuels a Polynesian. But he doesn't have that sort of shame that we all sort of have in ourselves to want to like shoot for what we want to be. Because that's also ingrained in us, that this whole idea that, you know, if we've been given something, that's enough. Like, you're not allowed to ask for more. If you look at The Rock, he asks for whatever the fuck he wants.
And he gets it too. That's a funny thing though. Eh? That's a funny thing with polyculture though, man. It's like we don't ask. If we want something, we don't necessarily ask, we'll just take it. So if there's like a table full of food, it's like you don't ask for the food. You just grab it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny where, you know, when it comes to, you know, even in the working environment, and, you know, when it comes to when you talk to other Polynesians, and I'd put Māoris on it as well, when it comes to sort of progressing and them sort of shooting for beyond what they've been sort of given, there's always that sort of pushback. They're like, nah, like it's not me, it's, you know, I don't deserve it. Whereas if you look at Western culture, you look at sort of European culture, what are they telling their kids? If they offer you this, ask for more. That's the message that kids in white, you know, in white culture are getting. And
but they're lacking go on.
No, sorry, bro.
Yeah, but that's lacking. They're lacking humility to a degree, though. Eh? It's that balance. You know, we're out on that balance. You know. Yeah. That's one thing I like about the Rock too. He's always giving back. You know.
Oh, for sure.
That's what's like. He's the man.
For sure. He's encompassed every piece of who he. I would say he's encompassed every piece of who he is positively. And he's just fucking absolutely. He's killed with it. But I think my biggest thing is I want to sort of be a role model in that area to like a lot of younger Pacific Islanders and Māoris in that. it's not arrogant. It's not rude to ask for more than you're given. It's not rude to expect more than what people tell you you deserve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I know as a like Pacific Island Māori, I'm always going to give back when I have the ability to. But I think the problem with my generation is, and obviously the generations before, is that we were brought up thinking that we had to give things even when we didn't have anything.
Yeah.
And that's how like we hold ourselves back, is like, if you're constantly giving and you don't have anything, how are you supposed to build up anything? So
Yeah. I'm totally guilty of that. Like giving away when I don't even have it. You know,
oh, bro, hard.
I don't even have it, but I'm giving it all away. And it's cost me a few relationships in the past, bro. It's like, why are you giving away so much shit? Why are you, you're so generous, blah, 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 blah. And then they realize that you're too generous. This sucks. And you're giving away everything. But it's, I don't value stuff in the same way as a lot of people. I'm quite happy just for someone else to take my stuff. I buy things for other people to use, you know?
Yeah.
And, a lot of Palangi culture don't understand that.
They don't understand. Yeah.
You know?
Like for me, that's why I never have money, bro. Is because whenever I make money, I'm fucking always just like giving it to like my family or my cousins or something. Because I've just got no use for it. Like I don't buy shit. So
yeah.
Pretty much everything like I ever wear, I've been given like for free. Like I just don't buy shit.
Well, you got me getting pretty free shit with those 26,000 followers on the gram, bro.
Bro, it's a fucking blessing getting the free clothes, because
that's
otherwise
cool.
I always get hit up by people. They're like, you wore that shirt like in your video yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, I fucking own like 3 shirts.
It's called minimalism, bro.
Yeah. I was doing that before it's cool.
True. I was minimalist before it was cool.
Yeah.
I love that. That's cool.
But yeah, bro, it's a real interesting thing. Just sort of that whole deal. I mean, it's still something I'm learning, bro. Like, I say I want to be a role model for it. I'm still bad at fucking asking. Like, I'm still very much like, if I get given something, I'm just like, yes, thank you.
Yeah. And it's about conquering all of that stuff for mental health, really. That's the end of the day. The biggest thing that worries me is people's mental health. If they can't blend culturally together, the morality on the different sides of cultures properly. That you're right. We were saying before, it just leads to depression, and then heaven forbid suicide, because people they feel misunderstood.
Yeah.
Different cultures, and I think. Polyculture especially, we have the tendency to be misunderstood because of the way that we think. And I think there's beauty in every culture and the way all cultures think. I've been really blessed in the last few years to be drawn more toward Polynesian projects. And, it's fun. And, there's a different communication, I like how polys take the piss out of each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, we need that. And then, one side in society, people are saying, you can't say that. And it's like, well, we can. And if we don't like you if we're not taking the piss.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Because anything with KBM, mate, it's like, because we're all islanders, as soon as we turn up, it's just a fucking roast session on each other.
Yeah. Totally. And it's like, but that's how it is. You can't take it personally. It's funny because we don't take that sort of stuff personally, but we take everything else so seriously if we feel like we're failing. And trying to match up to Western culture, or trying to match up to a lot of those sort of modern ideals of what success is.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like it's accepted to show hospitality in the European way in a business environment, which I don't know is dressing nice, fucking clinking water. I don't know what the fuck, but I think it needs to be just as appropriate in a business environment to be. It needs to be accepted for, islanders to allow to also operate in how they show hospitality, which is, shitloads of food, fucking taking the piss out of each other.
Yeah.
That needs to be considered appropriate too, because that's part of the culture.
Yeah.
We shouldn't all have to just, come down to one sort of thing. It should be.
Yeah.
Everybody should be,
That's the trouble with political correctness. Political correctness and this progressivism, which is going on at the moment, is the struggle to make everybody the same. We all need to think the same. We all have to be the same. No offense, no this, no that. And we can't. It's not how we're wired, man. You've got like 8 billion. You got 8 billion people in the world. All how many different cultures, and we all just think differently. And just because one thinks differently from the other, we can tell when someone's being mean or cruel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
You don't need to invent a word to tell me, if someone's a fuckwit. Like, I already know.
Yeah. Exactly. I know if someone's a dick, and that's exactly right. And it's just this whole political correctness thing. It's hard work.
Oh, it's a load of shit, bro. Like, I don't
as a comedian,
I don't
find it.
I mean, my thing, bro, is like, and it's something I get asked all the time. I don't really get scared at all about like anything I say, because I can always explain my intention, because my intention is never to hurt somebody. So I know, because of who I am, that like I'm never going to say somebody and intend to hurt their feelings. So I know I can say whatever the fuck I want, because I know I'll be able to explain it. And
that's exactly
it's one of that, like, I already know I'm going to run into trouble at some point, because I just say stupid ass shit and someone's going to take it wrong. But my thing is I'm prepared for it, bro. And I know when it comes, obviously, as I said, I never intend to hurt someone's feelings, and I won't be necessarily stoked if I do hurt someone's feelings. But I also, it's not my responsibility for how someone feels. So
exactly. And some people, some people too, even when you say something that might be a bit harsh toward them, it's like some people, I think, need to hear that.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's like, you need to hear it, or you need to just take some concrete pills and actually harden up, because you needed to hear something that's being said, even if it was meant as a joke and you're taking it seriously. Maybe you kind of needed to hear it.
Oh, for sure. And it's like, if me saying this to you, or you even hearing me say something like this is foreign to you, it just shows that you don't spend time around anyone that doesn't look like you. So if anything,
you're not being challenged.
You're probably so if anything, you're probably more discriminatory than I am, because I'm around people that don't look like me or think the same way I do constantly. So if what I'm saying is foreign to you, then maybe you're the one that's closed-minded, not me.
Nicely said. Totally agree. I like what you said when you got your 26K. You said something along the lines of, I can't remember exactly what it was, but you put out the video and you said, it's taken you a while just to be yourself, to learn how to be yourself in your videos, and just do all that, and that's cool. That's rad, because you realize you're not making content for everyone to laugh at. You're making content that you find funny. You know what I mean? And then lo and behold, it works for a lot of people, and that's what's working out for you. You've got to be true to who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's cool. As long as you're not, as long as you're not a dick, and as long as you can explain what it is that you're saying, you know, that's what's cool.
And I think that's why, like, dudes like me, you, and, I would say a majority of the people we know, like, so many people operate with that fear of being judged for what they say. But, like, bro, most of the people I know are the exact same as me. They never have that intention to hurt somebody. So just speak freely, because it's not our responsibility to cater for how someone might feel. I'm just going to speak. And if someone doesn't like it, well, we can have a conversation and I can explain to you what you misunderstood.
Praise the Lord. I had this interesting thought the other day. I was talking to the missus and I was like, I never get offended. I know it sounds a weird thing to say, but I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't actually get offended, because I understand that someone says something and they've got their reasons for saying it. Now, I want to know, if someone says to me, you're a cunt, I'll go, probably, because I'm sure you've got your reasons for saying that, but I want to know why. You know what I mean? If they can't back it up, why they called me that, then they're a dick. They're a fuckwit. But if they can back it up, cool, we can have a conversation about this, we can work it out. I'm not going to get offended by it, because that's how they think. You know what I mean? People or I a different way.
I'm the same, bro. I'm the exact same. It's almost probably to the point where it's probably bad. I don't acknowledge, like, at least for myself, that it's a completely positive thing. I think, like, there's a lot of instances where people say something and I'll just be like, whatever. But it's it's one of those things where, I've kind of got so much that I worry about just for myself. I've got a lot of things that I want to do in my life that I'm constantly thinking of. My mind's always switched on to like my goals and stuff. And so I think for me, the thing that I'm very lucky to have is that sort of driving that focus, because someone saying something to me, I'm just like, I've got fucking way more things to worry about than what you've just said. Like, people will just message me like, stupid ass shit like, bro, you suck and stuff like that. And I'm like, I could not like give any less of a fuck. It's
yeah. I'm glad you said that. That means you're listening.
Yeah.
You took it in. Thanks,
I hope
man.
you liked the video, you fucking dickhead.
So what else you got going on, man? You've got obviously you're doing the social media stuff. You've got a podcast, eh?
Yeah. So I got my podcast.
Yep.
So Shit Talk with Joe Daymond. So I just do that weekly, and it's just an absolute shit show, bro. It's exactly what it sounds like. I just talk about fucking nothing. But I've just passed like 70, I think it's 75 patrons. So that's just a group of people, that pay a monthly subscription for like extra content.
Sick. Is that on Patreon?
That's how I'm able. What's that?
It's on Patreon.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Sweet. Yep.
Yeah. So I've just been building that. But just writing, bro. Just writing, podcasting, social media, just kind of a whole bunch of random stuff. It all sort of feeds back to stand-up. So the fact that stand-up isn't happening at the moment isn't actually too bad, because everything I'm working on builds towards that anyway. So the more time I actually have off from stand-up, the more to help, because obviously I'm just building up to the day that I can go out, and the more people I sort of catch over this whole period is the more people that'll show up to a show. So
sweet. And then you work on material all the time. You can get your Netflix special, and you'll be away.
Getting there.
Getting there, right? Getting there. Are you you must be, I imagine that for stand-ups, like you must miss that interactivity, that people love. Like, without sounding like you're in for it for the attention, but you miss the laughs. You miss making people laugh, entertaining.
Yeah. And bro, like every stand-up comedian, fucking plenty of them say they're not. We all are in it because that feeling of a whole bunch of people watching you and laughing. It's like it's something unexplainable.
Yeah. It's a massive adrenaline rush, eh?
Oh, bro, it's the best, man. And it can be, it's so good, bro, that so many stand-up comedians talk about how it was unhealthy for their mental health.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just like this high, bro, that you can never kind of like repeat in sort of any other part of your life. It's really weird. So like a lot of people that don't get to do it, over this period especially, they kind of feel this huge loss. But for me, I get the same pleasure out of writing, out of doing social media. So I miss it, but an intense loss.
It'll be back.
But I do love it. But I love it though.
Yeah. It'll be back. You'll be back in no time, bro. You'll be fucking smashing it. No, I'm looking forward. I am looking forward to coming out of this. I think our mutual friend, Mr. JT, has been messaging us relentlessly. We slowed down a little bit lately, but he's been pretty relentless with ideas and stuff. So even if things happen with him, that'd be great. Or we should just do some stuff ourselves, man. A few ideas.
Oh, bro, of course.
That'd be sick. Of course. And just, get creative and have some fun and see what happens. I just want to get out of this. I want to get out of this house.
For sure, bro. I very much am. Because like you were saying at the start, it's kind of tough when you're a creative and you like need to bounce ideas and you just kind of don't have. Like I've been sending messages to like my friends and like some of my cousins and that, but you can't really beat just sitting in a room just bullshitting over ideas.
Oh, totally, man. You can't, man. That's something we don't do enough of. I don't know why this is, but it's probably PlayStation or Netflix or whatever it is stopping people from actually going out and just chatting, just having, just talking shit, have a couple of beers and just wax bollocks. You know? What I mean? We don't. I don't think it happens enough. And as I said before, to me, creativity and comedy, especially, it's a group. It's a communal medium. We need to all do it together and work on it together. And that'd be sick, eh? Yeah. Oh, well, bro, it's been we've crossed over the hour mark, which has been great. And I normally find that people
Oh,
don't pay
fast.
much attention after that. It goes quick, eh?
Yeah, fuck
Can't-
yeah.
But we'll definitely do this in real life, one to one.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
No, always got time for you, brother. Appreciate you having me.
cheers, bro. You too, man. And it's really awesome watching your success. You're taking full advantage of this situation, and full credit to you, man. You're doing well.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man.
Awesome, man. And yeah, see you next time. See you.